I hope you're doing great. I hope you're making some money. I hope you're taking some time out and relaxing and enjoying yourself. You know, we just got back from the lake. I was there for a couple of days, and I had a really good time. And coming off the water yesterday, we kind of boated in and got a drink and some snacks. And there's a picture of what I got. I'm just putting that up there because Jeff Bradford, a good friend and a great individual for appraisers. He and I shared a pretzel many years ago. A couple of years ago, we were both down at Dr. Harrison's funeral, and he said, "If you got time, let's get together at the airport." And we almost didn't have time. I thought he wanted to have dinner, but he got there a little later than I. And we sat down and we shared a pretzel and a beer. And so now periodically he'll send me one or I'll send him one. And so I sent that to him, and he sent back and he said, "Are you in Texas?" And I said, No, not yet. I will be later in a few days. And he said, "Oh, great. Well, now I got to go get me one." And so he sent that picture back in short order. And enjoyed himself a pretzel as well. So shout out to Jeff Bradford, just a super good guy. And I'll tell you what Jeff told me after that funeral. He said, "No regrets. Live the rest of your life trying to have no regrets moving forward. Life is short, guys. So get out there and enjoy yourself, enjoy your loved ones and family, and enjoy a little special moment or bond you have with a friend or colleague." When we come right back, in fact, when we talk about colleagues and peers, let's find out what your peers have to say something about. Come on back and join us. Hi, this is Bryan Reynolds. You're listening to the Appraisal Update Podcast, brought to you as always by the great folks over at Appraiser eLearning. You need some education? Check us out at Appraiser eLearning. So I would like to thank our sponsor before we go any further, LIA Administrators. Thank you for all that you do. LIA Administrators, they support the Appraisal Update Podcast. They support the conferences. They support the Appraisal Report webinar, and they are just a true friend to the practicing appraiser, and they've got you covered. So check them out at liability.com. You're going to be glad that you did. So I was talking about your peers, and by the way, you know, it's unbelievable. It's football season, and the Bears just won a preseason game. So go Bears, the Bears. We'll see how they do. But get excited about something, whether it be a pretzel sharing with a friend or some good old-fashioned football or golf or swimming or walking or whatever you do. You know, I hear so many people say, "I'm going to retire," and then what? Then what are you going to do? And my brother's talking about retiring pretty soon. And I said, "Well, Todd, you know, stay active, do something." He said, I think I might take a Tai Chi class." Very cool. Okay, you've got a plan of action. Do something. So let's talk about what your peers have to say, in particular about a topic. You know, last week, Doug, Jim Morrison, and myself talked about some changes and shaking up things at Val Expo. And I'd like to bring in some of your peers to see what they have to say about attending a conference. You heard from Doug, you heard from Jim, you heard from me. Jim, in fact, said, "Come join us for one day, even if you have one day." Let's see what your peers have to say. Chester, tell my viewers who you are and where you're from.
I'm Chester Daniel, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
And why did you come to the Appraisal Summit?
To meet you, Bryan.
No. Seriously, what got you interested in coming and finding out more about the appraisal world?
Well, you know, part of my background is with the Urban League, and you know, I became involved with the diversity initiative through the Urban League, the National Urban League. I was very curious about the appraisal process for several reasons. One, the National Urban League is a sponsor of this with the Appraisal Institute and with JP Morgan Chase. They, as an organization who's interested in promoting the African American community, really were part of recruiting individuals who had an interest in becoming an appraiser. I was very interested in becoming an appraiser for not only myself to understand what it is all about, but a way of then taking the knowledge that I've gained and going back into the community and recruiting more individuals of color into the appraisal profession. So I'm here to learn as much as I can. I am looking for a supervisor as well, and I've just had a tremendous time so far. I'm so happy that I'm here today.
That's fantastic, Chester. So tell the viewers right now, what are some of the bigger takeaways? I mean, let's get into some specifics, right? Mm-hmm. So we're getting into the weeds now. Give me some specific takeaways that you're going to leave here with a little bit more of your cup filled.
Well, we've had an opportunity to witness amazing panels that have been able to share so much information, things that I never heard about, things that I never knew about. But also, part of my takeaway is the camaraderie with fellow appraisers of color. The first time I've had an opportunity to see so many of them in one place is here. That's a great takeaway. I've been able to network with them, get a lot of information about them and what they do, and intend to, after I leave here, follow up with them and with many others, including you, where I'll be calling on you to help me, to give me more knowledge, more experience, answer questions that I might have about the appraisal process, to be part of my journey moving forward.
That's fantastic. Do we think that we'll see Chester at another conference?
Oh, for sure. For sure. This is just the beginning. I don't think you can stop me moving forward.
You heard him. You can't stop Chester.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here. Let me hear you say, "Go Summit."
Go Summit!
Hey, Bryan Reynolds in Las Vegas at the Appraisal Summit. And look who I bumped into.
Tiana Nguyen.
And why are you here?
I am attending just to find out more about the appraisal field. I've never been in real estate. I have a background in biology. I went for school for that, and this is something I kind of stumbled across. I met somebody who was an appraiser, and I was kind of interested in real estate, but at the time I didn't know what this profession was. So he kind of informed me and suggested I attend the event just to network, connect with more people who had prior knowledge to the field. So it's something that I'm super happy and grateful I came, because at first I wasn't going to. I was scared and intimidated, but I think coming here, everybody's just so welcoming and inviting. I mean, I've got to learn a lot. I've got to meet great people, and yeah.
So you were actually interested maybe in real estate.
Yes.
And you said you had an acquaintance kind of let you know about appraising.
Yes.
So before that, you didn't know a lot about appraising.
No, I've heard about it because we had house appraisals whenever we had to try to sell houses. Yeah. Other than that, not really.
Okay. All right. So I think you shared with me at another time that you had some family in real estate.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you came here really kind of
clueless.
I didn't say it. She did. Right. So you haven't had any courses?
I've taken almost half my courses. I have maybe 110 hours in the books.
Okay. So you did a little research, and you kind of started your journey before coming here.
Yes, I did.
But you came here to get more information.
Yeah. So most of what I've heard on the panel, I could recognize some of the names and I knew what they were talking about, but not too in depth. So coming here, I got to hear more about, different forms I didn't know, or different, just anything technology involved. And so, yeah, it's.
And where are you located again?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. And right now you don't have a supervisor.
No, I'm currently looking for a supervisor. I've heard about Perea. I've learned more about it coming here too. So that is an alternative that I wouldn't be opposed to. But if I could find a supervisor, I think I want the hands-on experience rather than behind a computer.
Okay, so probably just maybe 80,000 appraisers are going to see this video that you're in. No pressure. So if you're looking at one of them right now and they happen to be in the Phoenix area, why should they hire you?
I mean, coming here, from what I've seen so far, I am one of the youngest people here. And so I do have a lot of background in technology and working with videos, and just I can keep up with social media really well, and I can adapt to all the changes that, you know, new apps and new softwares coming in. So I think that I can offer that to a company, and I can help them make the changes that they want to do.
Yeah. So while they would be providing you a service, right, helping
Yes.
you get your training, there's certainly things that you can provide with the skills and knowledge you have. Let's
Yeah.
face it, a lot of appraisers are a little older,
Yeah.
and they're not up in technology as
Yeah.
well, right? So
Right.
you're good at that.
You're right. I can. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So what's the number one takeaway from attending the summit?
I'm just super happy to see a lot of females here. Coming in, I knew it was a male-dominated field, and I didn't know who to expect coming. I didn't know too much about it. So coming here, I'm just very happy to see more females in the industry, and a lot younger people too.
So we've heard a lot of people get up here in front of this camera and talk about their good experience. They've enjoyed this, they've enjoyed that. What have you not enjoyed? If you were going to give a criticism, we can take
Being
it.
here,
Yeah.
I don't know. I know so far I haven't had any bad experience.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. So if somebody's watching right now, they're clueless. That was your term, not mine.
Yeah.
They're clueless like you, right? They know nothing about appraising. Would you encourage someone like that to come?
Yes, I think it's always good to get yourself well-rounded and know a lot about, you know, different subjects and topics. And this is something that pertains to our life. Like everything we do kind of revolves around real estate, whether you buy a house or you buy, you know, you develop a business. So I think it would be advantageous to, you know, attend this just so you know more. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt. Yeah.
Am I going to see you at a future conference?
No, for sure. I kind of like
Tiana, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Say go Summit.
Go Summit.
Hi, guys. Brian Reynolds at the Appraisal Summit in Las Vegas 2023 with my good friend Scott Reuter. Hey, Scott.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. So, Scott, just real briefly, why don't you let folks know what Freddie Mac, what you on behalf of Freddie Mac spoke on at the summit?
We talked about a variety of topics, and we appreciate the invitation to join. We covered valuation modernization, some of the current volume and capacity, and we leaned in a little bit on words and phrases, and I know that's a big topic in the industry now, and loved engaging with the group.
Yeah. So you've been to several of these summits. This is not your first rodeo, right?
No, it's not, and I like the summit. It's a nice, it's generally a pretty heavy appraiser audience, which I love. It gives us a chance to interact with the appraisers and have some pretty active and lively Q&A and actually learn from their perspective.
Yeah. Did you get to see any of the other sessions, and what was your thoughts on some of the other presentations?
Very well done. There's clearly a reminder on bias, and the bias theme I thought was very well handled. Emerging tools and technology, and I think across the 2 days, it's a nice program.
Yeah. So, how accessible is Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae? I know you can't speak on behalf of Fannie, but how accessible are you at a conference like this? I mean, somebody walks by, they see you and I chatting right now, and we're done, and you walk away. Can they come up and bend your ear?
Absolutely. That's the whole reason. I'm ready to go have some lunch and sit with some people and put my name tag back on, but really that's the whole reason. And we aggressively not only try to see folks that we know before and after the event, but during, and then make all those new points of connection. So it's the whole reason we're here. So long way to say yes. It absolutely can pull us
Well,
together.
and I thank you for that, my friend, because when I started in this business, you know, you didn't even know who was at Freddie and Fannie, and you certainly couldn't come up and have a conversation with a Mr. Freddie Mac, I might say, at a conference.
Well, I think it's a broader credit. I'll only speak for Freddie Mac, but our leadership has really encouraged us to do this and has provided all that accessibility. And I see Lyle, so I have no doubt that it's the same way on the other side of the river, as we say. But no, I think it's the whole reason. Yeah. Gone should be the days where you don't even know who, there's a face to Fannie and Freddie. Now there are. We have I'm part of a broader team, so there are questions in there. I was like, I'm going to get back to you on that, and I don't know, let me know. Yeah. It's part of an ongoing conversation.
Yeah. Scott Reuter, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Look right in that camera and say, "Go Summit."
Go Summit.
You've heard from your peers once again. And before I show you a couple of events coming up, I want to just give a special shout out to our sponsor. Since 1978, LIA, Administrators and Insurance Services, has been offering E&O insurance to valuation professionals just like you and I. LIA applies superior customer service, exceptional liability education, unparalleled claim defense to serve well over 10,000. Man, that's a bunch. 10,000 real estate professionals all across the country. LIA offers commercial bond, general liability, cyber liability, and so much, much more. Visit liability.com to learn more about how LIA can help you and your business by protecting you. Check them out at liability.com. So before we go any further, I just want to bring this up on the screen. If you haven't been to our website lately, check it out. It's AppraiserELearning.com. And when you jump over there, you can hit this live events tab. And if you hit the live events tab, you see Val Expo, which is coming up this week. Guys, we're going to Vegas. Come join us. We'd love to see you. And just jump on that, and it tells you all about it. It's the 19th through the 21st at Caesars. You've heard lots and lots about it. It really is probably going to be the biggest Val Expo ever. We would love for you to join us in Las Vegas. Now, I just want to say this. Let's say you just can't make it. I understand. I totally understand. You've heard the reasons you ought to join us from some of your colleagues. But guess what? We'll be back in Las Vegas in September for the Appraisal Summit. And you can find all about it on this tab right here. It is September the 14th through the 17th at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. And it's always a really great time. NAA does a great job. We partner up with NAA to put on the Appraisal Summit. It's going to be packed full. You can see some sponsors there on the list. You're going to have a lot of great dynamic speakers, and we encourage you to go to that conference. In fact, I'd love to see you at both conferences if you can make it. And I'm going to tell you this right now, just from me to you. If you are at both conferences, the first 3 people that come up to me, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just come up to me and say, Val Expo Appraisal Summit 24. Val Expo Appraisal Summit 24. And the first 3 people that do that, now you had to attend Val Expo and you had to attend the Appraisal Summit, but the first 3 people that come up and say that to me, I've got something special for you. So you're not going to want to miss that. Come up at the summit and grab me. Say Val Expo Appraisal Summit 24. The first 3 people that do that, I got a little special gift for you. All right. Thank you very much for listening and watching the Appraisal Update podcast, brought to you by Appraiser eLearning. Special thanks to LIA for your continued support, and we hope to see you in Vegas.
The Appraisal Update podcast is brought to you by Appraiser eLearning.